You know, so many people are excited about the upcoming Boise State football season. I don't know if any of them are as excited as Boise State Director of Athletics Jeramiah Dickey. Your second season getting a chance to lead this athletic department as well as this football team. How much fun have you had over the last 20 or so months, Jeremiah?
It's been amazing. Honestly, I was thinking about on the bus drive over here, you know, how quickly it's gone. And I think this is my 20th football season. And I don't know if I've ever been as excited as I am today.
You know, you look back, when you first got here, you were barely here a week and you had to hire a head coach. Yeah. At the end of the day, it actually kind of seemed like an obvious decision. Andy Avalos returns to his alma mater. What is your relationship like with Andy, and what have you seen from him as he leads obviously a very important part of your athletic department?
I think when it first started, you know, it was an obvious decision, but I wanted to find the best candidate. And going through that process, even though I was here for 48 hours, I got to know him and who he was as a father and a husband and just an overall person. And that meant the world to me. And so, you know, since that time, our relationship has grown. I think we're stronger than we've ever been. You know, I realize and he realizes it takes a team. And so as much as I'm fighting for him, you know, in that department and in this community, he's fighting for us, and they worked hard this year in this offseason, and that's where championships are won. And so I'm really excited for Andy in his second year, and I'm really happy with what they've been able to accomplish, and looking forward to this game.
You know, it seems way too coincidental that this season of all seasons, Boise State opens up with a Pac-12 opponent. Realignment continuing to stir. There was some news, though, yesterday about playoff expansion, and that certainly seems like that would benefit Boise State's future regardless of what conference that they play in. What is your take on the expansion of the playoffs, and do you think that will benefit the Bronco brand?
Absolutely, I think it will. Now, there's still some things that need to play out, but hope is powerful. And with every team that in their fan base now, and I'm only concerned with Bronco Nation, my hope is everyone was excited, you know, because that gives us a seat at the table, and that's all we ask. We want to compete with the best, and that's the standard that we hold ourselves to. And so that was the best news that I've seen in a long time. It should have come last year, and that's a whole other conversation. But to see it drop yesterday, it was exciting.
I know when it comes to conference realignment stuff, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, and there's very little that you can control. But in your world, is there any latest news when it comes to conference realignment?
Other than who I thought the players were, it changes, you know, daily, right? So I feel like we're back to square one, but we're continuing to control what we can. You know, that's telling our story, and that's something that I think our staff is really embraced, and that's, you know, I'm more process. You know, and that's what I concern myself, and so our team is really doing a good job, and I'm really proud of them, and we're going to continue to grind.
Jeremiah, you are currently making a huge push to upgrade not only the Boise State football facility and Albertson Stadium for that matter, but really all of the athletic programs with the campus village. We're standing here inside Research Stadium. They're currently undergoing a $161 million renovation. As you stand here, you mentioned that hope is a powerful thing. Does stuff like this, you know, give you hope of what might be able to happen back in Boise?
Absolutely. You know me, I'm always thinking about what's next. So I've moved beyond the video boards, and my hope is Bronco Nation shows up today and they see what's possible, and we can do this. And so I know everyone's concerned about $300 million. I'm concerned about one project at a time, and I know we can get these projects done. We are going to speak it into existence, and I have a tremendous amount of belief, and I know we have the work ethic to get it done. So yeah, I'm excited.
You kind of have two projects going on right now back at Albertson Stadium, the north end zone as well as the south end zone. We'll begin with the north end zone. I got some video last week. It was, you know, obviously undergoing construction. It's made even a bigger jump since then. Will that be ready to go for the home opener on the 17th?
It better. Yeah, no, it will be done. They're doing a great job. Bob Carney on our team is he's the master of video boards right now, and so I'm confident that will be done. And then the smaller video board will stay up as the south side goes up. So.
Just a couple more for you, Jeremiah. When we do go back down to that south end zone, initially I know that you guys were very hopeful, and in this day and age, I don't know when anything is ever finished on time. What is the latest on the south end zone scoreboard? And we look at this one that they're debuting tonight here at Reser Stadium. How does that compare to what will be going into place at Albertson Stadium?
One, very comparable, which is awesome. Even for me to see it, you see pictures and whatever else, but to see, to be able to look at it and stand under it, yeah, it's going to be very similar to that. It's going to fill that gap nicely. They are grinding, and my hope is that at some point, and we're still shooting for the BYU game, for that project to be done, but I can't tell you the amount of work that's gone into that project. Every time we dug into the ground, there was a line. As you put together Albertson Stadium, or as Broncos put together Albertson Stadium in the past, we kept adding on, and so blueprint over blueprint over blueprint. Then you throw in steel and some of the other things that we've been challenged with, from getting it to Boise. I still am very hopeful that it will be done by BYU, and I know our team is working hard on that.
I'll get you out of here on this one, Jeremiah. You guys have done so much work over the last 20 months. It feels like you are sprinting just to get back into the race. What do you think the next 20 months, what are you most excited for about the next 20 months now that it seems like you guys really have a nice springboard in place?
Yeah, one, you know me well enough now. I'm not going to stop. We're going to keep going. I'm already thinking about what's next. We have the infrastructure in place. That was a big deal for us this past year and a half to get our infrastructure in place. We have our revenue generation. We are concentrating on our student athlete experience, our telling our story, our marketability, and so everything is aligning. And so the next 20 months, we are going to pick up speed, and we're not going to stop. The day I stop, I'll quit. I can't do it any other way, man. So I'm so excited. I hopefully it's contagious, and you're starting to see it in our community, and that makes me proud.
Jeremiah, we appreciate you joining us on the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. Have a good night.
Thank you.